So my name is Karla Laird, and I represent the Jamaican Pavilion UB under the Jamaican Canadian Cultural Association of BC.
And I'm Ivy Williams. I also represent the Jamaican Canadian Cultural Association of BC.
So my participation is a little on the more recent side, well, unfortunately because of the pandemic, but I've definitely attended for about 4 years. Yeah.
And I think I've been involved or participating since the inception, I think in 2008, I believe. So for over 13 years. More so recently in the last 4 years as a board member of the Jamaican Canadian Association.
I like that mix because it's, well, me as the newbie and you as the veteran. Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah.
My favorite memory from the festival would have to be the food. Like, that's the thing everyone comes for. And, for me, it's really just being able to sample the world. And yeah, you sample the world in one spot. You get to see everyone. You get to meet new faces every single year. It's always a different experience. And you have your highlight points, but it's just the fact that you're coming there expecting an awesome time. And the food is also a huge plus.
Absolutely. Yeah, for me, I would say, I have so many great memories. But one that stands out mostly for me is, I'd say, when there was a year when Jamaica won best decorated tent, and and we were asked to come on stage to accept the award. And so I think when I looked out on the crowd that was there, and I saw that diverse group of people, like there was just so many people, and the music and the smell of the food and just the hustle bustle and the engagement that was going on. I'm like, I looked and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is really what multiculturalism looks like.
Yeah.
It just really exemplified for me what multiculturalism was all about.
Yeah, that actually reminds me of the first time when I just moved to BC. My dad's been living here for over 10 years. And he's always been telling me, because I still lived in Jamaica at the time, he was always saying, when you come here, we have to go to Fusion Fest. You have to go to Fusion Fest. And so when I came, it was literally on my agenda of things that we must do when I just moved. And it was exactly what he said it was going to be, which was, a taste of the whole world, the diversity, the multiculturalism. And he was like, beautiful British Columbia. And you see it there in the festival when you go around and, like you said, smell the food, see the people, taste the food. Yeah, it's awesome. Absolutely. Ooh, well, the crowd that comes to the booth every single year, it speaks for itself. And, there's almost like this word of mouth that travels that, you have to go to the Jamaican booth. And we're always there ready to serve everyone and give everyone that taste of Jamaica that they're looking for. And I think that's really what Fusion Fest does. It gives everyone who's never been to Jamaica, who's heard about Jamaica, who is from Jamaica but hasn't been back in a while, that taste of Jamaica that they've really longed for. And it's someone like me looking forward to 2022. Yeah, that taste of Jamaica, that's really what I think is the biggest sense of awareness that people get. They will experience Jamaica when they come to the booth, for sure.
Absolutely. And for me, I think I really hear what you're saying, Karla, because for me it's about, over the number of years that I've participated in the festival, I have seen an increase of participants coming into our booth, and we're talking about 40 different countries or more, and I see an increase of different cultures coming to look at the brochures, look at the arts, and listen, even dance to the music outside of the tent. So I think, having that platform has certainly increased the awareness of our culture within our community, and as we see there are a number of other people who attend, not just from BC, who attend the festival. So it is actually a broader audience that has become more aware of the culture because of the Fusion Festival.
Yeah, and I'd even bring it a little closer to home and say Jamaicans who live in BC who didn't even realize that our association is there and active and buzzing, because as close as we think we are, there's still so many Jamaicans that don't know that they have a community and a core group that they can person turn to. So when they come and they see the association booth, they're like, oh, you guys are here?
Yeah.
This is awesome. And so you end up extending your family, for lack of better words. So many ways that we end up benefiting from the event, for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I think my biggest takeaway is how similar we are. Different but similar. And I suppose one of the funny moments that I remember experiencing was being at the festival and going around to looking at some of the other booths, and I saw where one, I don't remember the name of the culture, but they were basically selling or giving us tastes of goat curry. And I was like, oh, curry goat. Because in Jamaica we say curried goat, but in South Asian cultures they say goat curry. And so it was interesting to me because it's the same meat, it turns out to be the same product, but we use different spices and herbs and seasonings, that kind of thing. And so you can taste that South Asian flavor versus the Jamaican flavor. Still very spicy, still very flavorful on both sides, which is that similarity. But it's just the fact that if you go to a restaurant and you say curried goat, they're gonna say, yeah, you're Jamaican. But if you say goat curry, like, oh, South Asian cuisine. So that was for me, that similarity that reminds me that we're all pretty much the same, just different versions of that same. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And for me, just to expand a little bit on what Karla was saying, is that, this similarity, this is one of the things when I think about the different cultures, how similar we are really in not just the food but the music. And I think about the African music, when I look at, I visit some of the booth there and listen to the rhythm, and it's so similar to Jamaica but yet so different, so unique. And I think one of the things that I've also noticed is the value, how the different cultures value their own cultures.
Yeah.
And all of us, one thing we have in common is that we all want to be heard, we all want to be represented, and all want to be known, for what we are, for who we are. And so that to me, I think is really speaks to how similar we are. And perhaps maybe one of the reasons we all have that tendency to want to learn more about each other. So, yeah.
Yeah, when you mentioned the music, and I actually remember once where there was a group of African dancers, and then the Jamaicans came over and they're like, yeah, we could dance to this too. And so you had Jamaicans dancing to Afro beats, and then you saw the mixes of the different dance moves. And even though they're from totally different cultures, some of them were very similar in terms of the moves that they're doing. And yeah, you're right, similarities, differences, but then you realize how much that foundation is almost the same, but it branches off in different ways. And yeah, it's literally fusion at work, which is what is awesome.
Absolutely, yes, for sure, yeah.
I think that's the hardest question to ask, because that's literally what I always go for every year, the food. So to be able to narrow it down is tough. I mean, for me, I always have to go to the Jamaican booth first. So especially having not been able to travel home for such a long time, that taste of Jamaica is definitely what I'm going for. So the jerk chicken, the oxtail, the corn, I'm looking forward to that. And I might be biased when I say I think we have the best chefs in the world, but that's my opinion. But I am definitely looking forward to tasting some of the work from some of our best chefs. But at the end of the day though, it's definitely a day where I tell myself I'm gonna eat everything I possibly can from every possible booth, so look out for me.
Yeah, for me, I had to really think about that, because you're like you, Karla. I want to try everything. I want to listen to all the music. But one of the things that really captured my taste, the last one, the pakora. And there's just something different about that, and I don't know what, because I get it in restaurants, but there was something different about pakora that I'm really looking forward to having a nice, spicy, hot pakora in 2022.
Nice. I like that you said spicy. You're definitely Jamaican.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we take spice everywhere.
Has to be spicy.
Awesome.
Yeah. I would just like to say that, honestly, as a comment. And I'd just like to say kudos to I know our mayor is now gone. What was her name? Diane Watts, who actually initiated this process, as far as my understanding is. But I really believe this is truly one of the most important event or initiative, really, in terms of contributing and influencing change in our multicultural world or country. I really believe that what we're doing, what Surrey is doing, and I know that City Hall is involved as well, what they're doing to really bring awareness and engagement and inclusion is honestly working. And I have to say kudos to all the planners and people, because it's something that I look forward to every year.
Yeah, for sure.
And really looking forward to 2022.
Yeah. Fusion Fest is an international standard. And when you think about what it represents, who ends up turning up, how they feel when they're there, how they feel when they leave, what they see, what they take away and carry home, what they share with their children in their own families. That is exactly what we have been trying to promote in BC and across Canada in our local communities, that whole sense of diversity and inclusion and even accessibility, knowing that no matter where you are in your life, what your physical strengths or disability is, you can be there and you can enjoy and partake in everything that the world has to offer. And I think that is what I truly love about Fusion. And so kudos to the team. You guys do an amazing job every single year. We know it's not an overnight success. So, we're looking forward to 2022 for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.